A very beautiful morning, my people. How are you guys doing? Mwasuze Mutya, mukama yebale bayisa mukiro banange. My name is Sandra Anyango and program bajita Mwasuze Mutya. Yes, so today we were supposed to have a doctor on the show because of what we're going to talk about. Nayenga omusawo yafunye muka emergency katono nnyo, so tugenda kweyongerayo ne patient. Twachaziza doctor ne patient because Dr. Badagena toward the explanation, the scientific part of it, how it comes about, then patient at Wulide, her experience with the condition. Now we are talking together kubanga togera ko amelogenesis imperfecta. I hope I am talking amelogenesis imperfecta. Now this is a condition kugamba affecting ekibuno. Yeah, ekibuno mukamwa. So ekibuno kino kigetinga affected wabeerawo discoloration like amannyo gaba either grey or yellow, and then amannyo gaba sensitive, then ekibuno kibeera kirimu omuntu ono, and then ne wabaawo ne pain. Yeah, so wabaawo pain, that means ekibuno ekyo kiba kigonda, so bwe kiba kigonda wabeerawo cavities and wabeerawo ne infections ezijja along that whole condition. Now eno condition eno amelogenesis imperfecta, it's a genetic condition, kiva ku maama ne kigenda ku mwana naddala nga ndowooza tebannamuzaala ekigenda kiba mu genes ezo. Ne doctor abadagenda kubyogerako byonna, naye tuyina patient ayina condition eyo, talina kyatya because abantu abasinga abalina condition eno ate babako ne low self esteem and it's affected, of course their confidence level is affected. Naye Sandra, yes, Sandra yavaayo n'agamba ati nedda nze sigenda kuswala, ngenda kuvaayo mbagambe no condition eri bweti, I create awareness about the condition. Now tugenda kubeera naye paka saa 5 ez'okumakya. My name is Sandra Anyango. Tukomawo. Hello, welcome back. Mbaniza nyo mshoni chaffe kisoose, program Mwasuze Mutya. Amwe bali okutoyonga ko bakwano. So genda ku social media, nemugenda ku X, nemugenda ku YouTube live or Facebook live, and then you watch the show there. Nabali ku Yo TV, you go there, mulabe kashako. And then also look on your screen, there is a QR code. You scan it with your phone, put your phone there, scan it, and then wajja kuleetawo ebintu by'olina okujjuzaamu awo, otubuulire endowooza yo about the show, otubuulire by'oyagala okulaba, baani bw'oyagala tukyaze n'ebiki by'oyagala twogereko. Yes, my name is Sandra Anyango. Tandise show tulina omukyala gwe bayita bamuyita Sandra Anyango. Sandra Anyango ono ayina condition, it's a genetic condition, kiva ku bazadde ne nga bono ogamba nti maybe sickle cell disease or anything ekibeera transmitted from the parents of the child. Yes, so condition eno eri genetic era nga twaruningako ku story mu Daily Monitor. I think it was just early this month. Yes, early this month, September. Guno mwenyine omwaka story eyo twacovering this young lady, twacovering a story eyo eya condition ye jaine ya amannyo b'ekibuno, obulwadde bw'ekibuno obwo. Yeah, twateekamu the title was The Girl with the Imperfect Smile, era nga nayo ye akitambuliramu naye ng'ate she's hopeful that ebintu byonna bigenda kukolebwako bamukoleko operation or surgery, the minor surgery, then amannyo ge gatereere. And by the way, and I looked at her. She's very, very beautiful. She has a beautiful smile. Na ye agamba nti okay mulimu feelings and mulimu whatever it's there abasawo byebatademu naye nga bomulaba, she's a very young woman, in a beautiful smile, and she's a very humble soul, and we are happy to have her on the show. Okay, so omanyi Oluganda, tugenda kwogeramu Oluganda katono, tekamu Oluzungu wote yeah. Kale Sandra, buuza kuba tulaba abantu bafe abalungi.
Mwasuze Mutya. My name is Sandra Anyango, ndi Musamya. I am from Busia district, and I'm so happy to be here today with Stella to share my story and how I've been able to navigate through life with this condition. Yeah. Yes, so ensonga eno yatandika when I was 6 years old. I was at home playing like a normal child. Okay. My tooth then broke. So when my tooth breaks, one of the canines, amanyo manji mkamwa. Unfortunately, we didn't have a doctor appearing today, but he has more knowledge about this kind of condition and how best I can get help. So also you find that the tooth breaks, and I tell my brother about it and my dad as well. So teeth break when you're a child. You get to know when a child is growing adult teeth. They break, they shake. You need to lose to get the mature teeth. So when my teeth break, one tooth breaks.
Okay.
One of the canines, this one. So bantwala to see a dentist. So ngendayo mudwaliro, I will not mention which hospital, but one of these big ones. So nagendayo, and I sit on the chair, musawo nalete ebintu bye na kebera. So wa kebera, he stands up and he gets out of the room. So kuvayo natandika okwogera n'omuganda wange. Namugamba nti okay, they talked. So nakomawo munda. Nantuuza nangamba avayo tula wansi twogere. So I sit down and he tells me. Then he nambuuza, how are you feeling? Nengamba, I'm fine, I'm okay. Nangamba nti omanyi toli bulungi? Then I ask him, what do you mean? Nangamba nti olaba manyogo gano mafu. And this is a condition which is irreversible. So you find that they are weak, they are thin, and that one which has broken is just one. Naye with the time gagenda kumenyeka one by one. Sinti okuvamu yonna. You see, a tooth has a shape, and you find that I'm not so technical. I don't know that terms. I didn't do medicine. So you find that it breaks off like one corner, like two corners, and you get holes on them. So eyasoka yavayo, and a hole is there. So he told me this is an irreversible condition. The teeth form once, teeth grow once. They can't grow back again. So they are thin, they are weak, so they will be breaking one by one. So he told me that you might need to remove all of them. So I am 6 years, I have my small face, and he's saying buje mubona. Then my brother is like, no, we have to have a solution. So na vayo na ita olim sao na mgamba jangola be. Okay, they open the door and I hear him saying jangola be patient wa phone. Patient najana alaba musao najana alaba. Na gamba anti, we have actually never seen this. We learned this in class, but you are a practical example here. Oh dear. So he says, I'm sorry, this doctor has, because I was crying, and they're telling me you're going to lose everything you have in your mouth. So
but kumyaka mukaga.
Yes.
Bakutuziza. Eyo information is endaba eba a bit sensitive. Basobola okuyita omuzadde ne bamunnyonnyola.
No, my brother was there standing.
Okay, your brother was there. Your big brother or
yes, big brother.
Big brother. Okay. Yes. Big brother gwe bandigambe byonna ebikuliko. Nti omwana ono ali bwati ne bwati condition eri bweti ne omwana omuto omuteka through that trauma.
I know.
Abasawondoza tusokyusamu awo. Bulaba adults osokogane adults omwana ye no kugamba ne bakimuna muto anyway they won't even understand what's going on. So about solotereza muko.
No, so this Musa who came in the lady, young Nangamba, I'm sorry, my colleague just put it all out on you, and this is not how we're supposed to do it. Stop crying. What we are going to do is come back tomorrow. I put something called a filling on top of that tooth, and then after you can start being fine. You'll not have to worry about it. You don't have to cry anymore. With the time, eventually, as he has mentioned, buja kumenyeka, but you have to be feeling one by one. The ones that menyeka, you feel, you put a feeling, temporary feeling, permanent feeling, until you grow up and the face is mature enough to get implants and crowns and bridges. Yeah, that's what they told me. Okay. So definitely I went home, I was crying, what is this? Obviously they explained to my brother other things. Because your
brother by then was he an adult above 18 or he was?
No, he was a teenager. Yes, because my dad had to go to work, so he had to bring me to the hospital. Yeah, so you know, a teenager can jump on a border, taxi, and move around town. Yeah, so he took me to the hospital because dad was not available to work. So my brother eventually they asked him, is it the whole family? Is she the only one? Because if there are people who can be helped, it's good to help them when we can still help them. Yes, so I definitely had to go back to her the next day. They obviously, you see that now some hospitals you go to, and I've been there before, you visit a dentist and tebaina scan. you have to go to another place to do a scan for the mouth.
Yes.
So she first told me, let's first get a scan to see how the damage is, because I might be saving this tooth only, but there are others to be worked on. So after that, I went and did a scan. I came back. They did a first filling. So I didn't know how these things are. There's a way they do it. They first clean that. They first clean there. They brush there, bulungi. Then they put that filling on top of it. Yeah. So with time, obviously, I had to go back to school and live a normal life.
Naye mukuddeyo ku ssomero wali eyo condition those abaana baali tebakimanyi nakimanya what's going on.
I didn't.
Mwena mwali bato ngamba ku ssomero gye wali osomera abaana baali tebakusongamu nakusekerera naku oba tekyali visible nti kirabika bubi.
You can't know. Even right now, as you can see, I look very fine.
Yes.
I look normal until a dentist ajayo bintu byonna atandika okulabya one by one. So you find that eventually that was okay. So the problem started when on my upper jaw amannyo agali waggulu. So a brown line grew on all of them. Like chiline chavayo nichi like a stain.
Yes. And
this is something which I can't remove. So the stain comes in, it's yellow, it's brown, it's there like a tattoo.
Your stain gyogambe yajja ku mannyo go.
Yes.
Yali line oba discoloration ay'amannyo gonna ago waggulu nga gonna
Kaline.
nga kayitamu ka brown.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's when students began asking me. Kati abaana baali bambuuza, why do you have a line on your teeth? Have you taken chocolate and you didn't brush well? Did you take coffee? Kumbe kiri kyavaayo, it just happened. So obviously bantwala okulaba omusawo wachi nina ka brown line ako. Omusawo n'angamba okay ekirungi my brother kept my forms zange bazitereka kubanga you see much as you go to see this dentist today nkya togenda kusangayo that very dentist ate nekirala transport gy'oteekamu okuva waka n'ogenda ku ddwaliro eyo kulaba omusawo w'amannyo it is best you find one nearby to save on transport kubanga transport gy'oteekamu someone nearby can also assist.
Consultation fee byonna ng'olina
n'osasa consultation ate ebyamannyo bya cash si bya insurance. So osanga nti I visited another dentist because of that brown line that came on my teeth. Omusawo yo n'angamba nti this I can't remove this brown line, you have to stay with it because that's how the teeth are. So and she told me that with time it would olaba brown line eyo eyinza okuyingira eri munda like olaba how a tooth is shaped. It has a part. Okay, I'm not so technical.
It's okay.
Naye yangamba nti it's decay and we can't do anything about it because right now amannyo gakyakula, so you need to have a mature face. Unfortunately, ebisinga sibijukira because I was young. But one thing I know is I was moving in and out of dental chairs. Ngabakola ku one tooth, two teeth today, 5, and they would break by themselves. It's not like I would pass a chemical. You'd wake up one more ozuka kumacha and erinyo emu emenyesi. No gamba, what's this? So that requires you to first go and see a dentist so they can fix that part which has broken. So ekirungi oli musawo was open.
Noza abalayi bafe abalungi abalaba NTV ne Spark TV right now. Ebifaananyi ebyo biri ku screen, but just babalaga example, you know, of that condition. Somehow amannyo gabeera bwe gatyo, gabeerako discoloration yeeyo, sometimes ga grey oba yellow or brown. Yeah, so mwana ono naye yafuna brown line enko apa gundi apa jo amannyo go waggulu ago naye nga ate gavaamu buvigoka gakongoka because ekibuno kibeera kiri soft nga tekisobola gawanirira amannyo, so gabeera gavaamu gokka ate bwe gavaamu condition eyo ebeera irreversible nti terisobola kumera, terisobola kudda. So omwana ono bwe yagendera that time mu ddwaliro kugamba abasawo it was the first case ever gye baali balabyeko baali nga babisomyeyo mu medical school naye kati omwana we bajja mu ddwaliro ng'amenyesa erinnyo ng'abadde azanya then ne balaba kolikyologa this is amelogenesis imperfecta this is it so omwana ono byayiseemu abiyiseemu naye nga tukijjukire nti amelogenesis imperfecta kugamba ereetera omuntu okuwulira sensitivity bw'onywa ebintu ebyokya oba ebinyogoga ennyo ulya sensitivity eyo and then wabeerawo obuzibu mu kugaaya oba okuluma yes wabeerawo obuzibu mu kugaaya oba okuluma so obeera tosobola because oyinza okuluma ekintu ekikaluba ate amannyo n'ogaleka ku kintu ky'oli mu kulya and then ne wabeerawo of course amannyo gabeera gakuluma oba ebibuno so eno condition gye tuli mu kwogerako era omulabi waffe just I wanted to mubeere updated so that tutambula fenna yeah so brown color gondi eyo lining ezze ku mannyo ago waggulu gonna akuva eno paka eno
yes
okay basawo bagambye ki nti genda erya esembera munda
yes
okay okuva omwakola mutya
byangamba nti with time eyinzo it will grow in and when it grows these will just break like it will fall in. Yes.
Okay.
So obviously I wasn't happy with the news. I had to look for more options around, and being a young person, I was young, I don't remember how old, I think I was in O-level. So senior 4 comes, I was preparing for exams.
Okay, kati obuseewo oli ku mukaaga bakebedde and everything okuze oyisa mu P7 or joins the senior 1 and everything mu senior 1 coloration yajjaawo ng'oli teenager.
Yes.
Okay.
Abana bansongamu, why do you have that brown line on your teeth? Obviously some would bully me for it and I would cry and I ask myself what should I do. I called my mom tells me just leave them, tell them you're fine, it's temporary. Others you have to lie that you ate chocolate and didn't clean well. Yes, kumbe it's that brown line on the teeth.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sorry about that. Naye kati wano walinga olya emmere tubulireko bye walinga kugamba okola naye ng'ofunamu ebuzibu nga condition we nagisomyeko somewhere nga bagamba obuzibu mu kuluma oba okugaaya ebibuno oba amannyo gaba gakuluma and everything. So did you go through that? Walinga olya mmere ki and everything?
Olaba erinnyo wemmenyeka kiringa engatto. You see, a shoe covers a foot. Kati erinnyo, that enamel, that outer part of the tooth. Weba menyeka, you remain with something light on top of the tooth. And it's also a part of a tooth, just simanyi how they call it in the medical field. And echo chintu chiba chiruma. It's sensitive if you don't cover it. If they don't cover it, if they don't put something on top of it, it's sensitive. So the fact that olumo amannyo gamenyeka, you get holes and you find that the food stays in the teeth. It gets stuck in the teeth. It goes in the holes. So you'd find that Irish namatoke, this slight small food eba sigala mu mannyo nogamba nkole ntya nofuna ne toothpick, then you have to brush. Sometimes I would move with a toothbrush everywhere because whenever I eat something I have to pass there and clean. Nonywa amazzi nogamba then you ask yourself nkole ntya. So obviously with time whatever breaks they fix, they fix. So reached a point whereby the tooth just broke by itself. Like you see how it's there normal, it broke open. So they had
mukumenyeka ogwo Sandra mukumenyeka erinnyo lyeyawulamu oba livaayo completely oba ligenda limenyekako bupiece
bupiece buli twavuddeyo
kati level egenda
ewaseninga jjukira amannyo gali mangi mu kamwa. You have 32 normal teeth. If you have a normal mouth, it has 32 normal teeth. So amannyo sigamanyi bulungi, I've forgotten how they classify them, but oina molars, canines, incisors in your mouth. So tuvudde wano muza maaso wano tuli mu molars. Kati molar yamenyekamu, like it broke into 2. So I go to a dentist. I endured a lot of pain at that time. Omusawo went through a lot to remove that tooth. Kubanga olaba babajjamu amannyo, if they're removing a tooth from you, they just hold it and they pull it out. But for this one, it was broken. it broke in there. So he had to use his machine, his tools to pick it out of the gum.
I understand.
So
katinga
there's nothing to pull it out. Then obviously it broke like the part and they just pulled it out. Now sanganti, it's not good to pull out teeth. I know teeth, most people just say it's for eating. It's for articulation of words. But a dentist knows what there is more to teeth. Bamani, what else is there to teeth. And the fact that it's connected to the nerves, the brain can also be affected. And it's not an easy journey, definitely, because as I've been getting this dental care and help, then you find that you interact with your fellow patients. You say, good morning, good morning. You look fine. What have you come to do here? No mugamba auntie, I have come to do some feelings. So there's a time I went to a hospital. And I'm seated there. For him, he has come to get a toothpaste. Okay, he showed me a tube. He didn't explain much, but I asked him what's wrong with the tube you're holding. He had a denture for the whole mouth. Nemubuza, how are you doing it? So I was shocked. I was traumatized. And I just left. I called my brother to come and pick me. I told him, I've met a man who doesn't have anything. He has
just for dental checkup.
No, he had
conditioning.
I know conditioning Dala because there are many. There are so many disorders. The problem is people are not happy to talk about it because even me, I'm just talking about.
Aware even sometimes.
No, some are not definitely because but these things are thin, they are light, they are yellow, so you don't know what to do. So I see this man and I'm like, my brother just told me, ignore him. You know, you can't help everyone. You know, you can't understand every condition. So just know that maybe one time you'll also be like that because these have to go off, all of them.
Okay. So get to mulamu katono Sandra.
Okay.
Kale tugenda ku mulamu katono tuchaine Sandra Anyango ina condition ya amelogenesis imperfecta, condition ya affecting amannyo. Atubulira byayisemu kuvanga muto kuvanga myaka mukaaga paka wano wali tutambudde koko. Katumanye ki byakola okuhandlinga situation eyo ne watuuse ku operation jangenda okuba nayo ali in October. Kale tovao. Okay, mbaniza nyemsho chaffe ekyokubiri sawa 3:00 excuse me. Sawa 3:00 ezokumacha mwebali nnyo kubanga mukyala baba ne program eno. Tuine Sandra Anyango. Condition eno gye tuli mu kutunuulira bagiyita amelogenesis imperfecta. It's one of those complications ezituuka ku mannyo. Now, Sandra anzijukizza n'angamba nti complications zibawo ku mannyo za njawulo, so waliyo amelogenesis imperfecta, waliyo n'ebirala conditions endala is affecting amannyo. Now, much as they say that condition eri genetic, sometimes oyinza okukijja ku bazadde and sometimes ziribeera mu genes tuyina nga omuntu nga ggwe. Yeah, so kiyinza okuba kuggwe nga ggwe genes okubeera nga mulimu disorder or somewhere something and then it causes that condition on your teeth. Now, amannyo gali sensitive nnyo. Tubadde tunyumyamu wano ne Sandra naga nti sometimes n'ebintu byetulya oba byetutalya, maybe condition ya malnutrition oba okulya nnyo sweet ebyo sweet things, obuta brushing bulungi, tooth decay, bingi nnyo conditions nyingi, naye kati eno yo eyiye yaja just naturally. Mwana nga akira nasinya nakola biki nalya buli kimu naye nga ate eno condition bwebanga mweri mugwe, it somehow it causes that discomfort. Yeah, so much as you people mwana ono ayogeranga she's a happy soul, naturally ye muntu musanyufu ndowooza era nga mumulaba nga smilinga naate bambi ye agamba amannyo gatuuka ne gavayo gokka mu bibuno kubanga ekibuno kiri soft and it can't hold the teeth together and the cavities and the pain, the jaw, aliwulira pain eno mu mannyo gano aga jaws and all that. So temulaba nga aseka naye nga condition gyalimu eri very serious era amannyo agambye gamenyeka gokka and oyinza obeerawo just negavayo buvi. So abali eyo nga tomanyi condition gy'olina naye nga tuwulira amannyo gakuluma gali sensitive nyonyonyo ekirikiridde ng'oba gavaamu gokuba olya ogolokola erinnyo livudde toliwudde naddiwulira actually nga livaayo okulaba nga liri ku kyakulya tyobadde olya. So maybe it's high time you go maybe for a check up and find out what the problem is. So Sandra, tuberere tugenda kuwumulamu wali nga nkubuuza maama ne taata tewali n'omu alina condition eyo?
There is no one. Bonna bali okay. Mu family yonna. Era even when
ne boddako emabega generation
tewali.
Jajja tewali. Great grandma
tewali.
Okay.
Yes, there is none of them.
So kino kyali mu genes zo.
I don't
just
know.
Somehow
you can't. Yeah, musawo yangamba nti one of the causes is either you get it from your parents or the genes when you're growing, some of them multiply bad. So definitely this can be a cause because teeth are supposed to form normally. Much as even if you eat as much as you want, even if you do what, but they have not formed rightly, they will not be okay. And it's irreversible. Also achieve that you cannot turn it backwards. Yeah, because teeth grow once, and if you miss that step, you're gone. Yes. Okay.
Omulabi waffe omulungi twatunuulidde ku symptoms is a amelogenesis imperfecta era nga waliwo discoloration amannyo gabeera either yellow, brown or grey oba white. Actually sometimes white naye nga white waliwo white oyo atategeerekeka bulungi nnyo. Then ne wabeerawo hypoplastic enamel. These are symptoms ekibino enamel. You guys enamel. Yes, enamel kibeera nga kiba kitonotono oba nga eyinza okubeera missing oba nga thin. Yes, thin. Kati gwe alina ndoza the thin, the part of it. Yes. And then togere na sensitivity and then ne defects nga cracks oba pits oba grooves on the teeth. Now ne wabeerawo primary symptoms ate ne wabeerawo ne secondary symptoms kati ate ogenda ova ku level eno nodda ku level eri noza condition egenda ewaseninga if not taken care of. Yeah, so we have secondary symptoms like difficulty in chewing, ne wabeerawo ne dental abscesses or infections, ne wabeerawo gum recession or inflammation owuliranga gajijibala buli oluma ekintu gajijibala. I don't know what the Baganda say. Then increased risk of tooth decay and cavities. Those are now like different symptoms. So wabeerawo types nazo tugenda kubanga tuziraba ez'enjawulo, but for now Sandra.
Yes, please.
Mukuyita mwebyo ogambye walyanga mmere ki walyanga bumonde amatooke emmere yonna eya bulijjo nengera still bikuluma.
Yes.
Mmere ki endala gye walinga olya mu ddwaliro bakugamba olya emmere ki weewala emmere ki sooke gye bakugamba okulya?
No, okulaba in the hospital they didn't restrict me. Because you have to live a normal life. Olaba Ekizibu, when you have the problem with teeth, the problem with someone who has a problem with teeth is abantu abasobola kubitegeera because you look normal, you look fine. Naye muli you are in pain, you have this swollen gum, you have these paining teeth, and abasawo they didn't restrict on what to eat. Actually, they have never restricted me. They have just told me eat your food normally, but get to know that as you eat it, you will be in pain. So how to do away with the pain is what they come around to help with. So olaba, if you lose a tooth, they are supposed to cover that part. They're supposed to cover the part you've lost. Yes, the hole, so that the infections or the pain doesn't enter down the roots of the teeth.
Kati waliwo okuteeka erinnya eriri artificial.
Yes,
mu kituli ekyo ate waliwo ne feeling oba okuteekayo cement or something.
Yes, please.
Gwe kuge baalinga bakola batya?
They were doing feelings.
Feelings.
Yes, because my face had to mature very well so that I can get the crown. Well, I am not so technical, but you see, if you're getting a crown, they have to trim a tooth and they put it on top. But me, my problem is I don't have what to trim. I don't have that enamel. I don't have that part of the tooth they cut on, because that, you see, when you are going to put a crown, you need to have a thin tooth to put on top of they put on top that artificial one. But me, I don't have the thin tooth even. So you find that they would break by themselves the part of the tooth I'm supposed to have. So to break by itself. So you find that they would have to cover some of them with the fillings, as I've shared, and then there's what they call implants.
feelings kitogerako wewa ne batekamu cement ne batekamu ne baziba ekituli nga bataddeyo linnyo level gyoliko
ye level gye naliko
gye waliko luli
but you see these feelings are not also permanent they last 2 to 5 years depending on how you take care of them so these are feelings. Remember, these are things they have put on top of your natural teeth. Natural teeth are easy to clean because it's part of your body. But a feeling is a chemical whereby if you put lipstick, you're talking, it can stain on the feeling. It stays there. You take chocolate, coffee, it stays on the teeth. So you find that if you do that every day, definitely the feelings will not last. So you talked about restrictions. They restricted me on that. They told me if you put lipstick, red one, put once in a while, like Christmas.
Feeling atuyinza okujamu infection.
Yes, and it would stay on the feeling.
Oh, it would be red.
Yes, it would be red.
Or any other color that
yes, then the coffee and the chocolate would also stay in the teeth. And you know it's not easy cleaning them. As much as they are going to say brush, sometimes you think you've brushed well, but you haven't. Yes, because the stains, the teeth remain stained. So you find that I had the fillings done, and that line I talked about, the one up on the upper teeth. So I met a dentist. I got another dentist, definitely. So for him, he said if you leave it there, that they would just break. And if they break,
leave what? If
they leave that line the way it is on the mouth, it would break. So Yanyamba, and there's a way he did it.
Abana abasawo ab'enjawulo buli omu yagambanga kiki
nedda
obanga bonna baali ku mulamwa gwe gumu nti amannyo baagala gatereeza gundi brown lining eyo balina gikola batya okulaba nti te-affecting amannyo malala naye kugamba buli omu everyone thinks they are telling you what the right thing to do.
Yes. And I mean, I cannot argue with that doctor because by the time he's wearing that white coat, he has come from far. So he was able to help me because I was in pain and most of the tooth had broken off. So he was able to cover that part. I don't know what he did, but when they are going to fill you, there's a procedure, there are things they do. So Sanganti, you have a normal tooth, they need to arrange that place they are going to fill, and they put that feeling on top. Yes, so these things don't last on the teeth, the feelings, because eventually with time it moves off. The feeling can go off. It wears off. It can fall off the tooth. So you find that if it falls off, definitely the tooth becomes sensitive again, and then you can't know when it is going to fall off because as you eat, as you live normal life, it is moving pola and pola. So you find that the feelings will also have a space, and that space is where food goes and hides. And when food hides in the tooth, eventually the decay comes in, the rot, because mouth as we know it, there's a certain bacteria
to keep it safe
that stays in the mouth. Chovola, they advise us to talk more because when you talk more, the mouth gets air to enter inside. But if you keep your mouth closed, that this bacteria and there's food
and then the warmth and everything.
Yes, the bacteria eats on the food and the decay comes on the teeth. Yes. So after them telling me I'll not be able to live with the feelings forever, they told me you have to get implants. So getting implants is a process.
What did Katibakola batya kwa your lining ya brown ya
lining?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I don't know how they call the procedures, but he trimmed the tooth and he made a hole came, so he put a filling on it to cover that
your
part.
Brown lining yaliyo esaze bweti. Muzonna.
Yes.
Katibakola batyo jijjawo oba okugikolako. Bakola procedure.
Yeah, there's a procedure he did.
A procedure baje bakoli eyo amanyo bagajjamu oba
sebagajjamu. Yes, you see, I'm not so technical. So a tooth, there's where they do the filling. So they chop off a part, basalako a part. The bakajjako, because much as it's enamel also has parts. There's one that really wears on top.
The outer part, the hard one.
Munda mpola. Though the one that we all see is the first part, and it's the important one because it's the shell of the tooth. So you find that he cut on it, and then he put a filling to help that part because he told me, I'm just doing this temporary, but you need to find a permanent solution.
Procedures. Byalinga bikuluma mkwano.
Definitely, there was pain, there was decay. You there would be rot. Now you see, when you talk about hospital, they wait for the receipt. They forget that you need to put in transport to go to the hospital. After transport, there's medicine you buy. Because when you buy the medicine, you have to buy it. That medicine helps with the pain, with the healing, with infections. So you find that when you have all these procedures done, there are costs. The bills would be high. And you're like, all the money I'm getting is all going in teeth. It's going to take care of health. I reached a point whereby I was like, you know what? Katufuna omusawo agajjemu gonna. And we be normal. Tubenga omusajja oli gwe nalaba ayina kiri kidencha ningamba tuzijjemu. Naye olaba, if you have teeth in your mouth, removing them is also not easy. In fact, tosaana kufuna omusawo agajjamu kubanga nagezaako nemubuuza nemugamba musawo manyi nze nkooye bintami tubujjemu leero, but he told me tasobola.
Oh dear.
Tasobola. You have to endure the pain, the breaking, the infections, the swelling gums, the bleeding, the sensitivity. Bear with all of that. So bangamba nti nokufuna crowns and also implants. Na implants wano gaza bei.
Okay, so ketunyonyola omulabi wafe omulungi. Implants ezo bakwata linnyo lye bateeka mu kituli kyo ne baliteekayo nga liri permanent.
Nedda.
Bakola batya?
So to have an implant, the way they explained it to me, bangamba nti like me now, implants, that I don't have some teeth. So they'll cut a hole in the gum and then they put a cement. Then they will put that a metal. The metal, my gums will have to grow around the metal, and then I'll have like a stick there. Then they will get an artificial tooth and put on top.
Artificial tooth netuula kuliri lyolina katini kali. Kumeto, sorry.
Implant. Yeah, implant.
Okay.
For those that they cannot cover with crowns. Then iziriza baso ateekako crown, bajja gimenya, like they will trim it to the size that is the standard size. After that, take your crown. But obviously, to make these crowns, it's a process also. They have to look at your face. Binocular reconstruction in your face. So they make you chew on something, and then they get how your face looks like. After chewing on that, they know what kind of size of tooth they are going to make. Never twala mu lab, never bikola. So that's the whole procedure basically on how to handle this this matter. Bafuneyo solution eri permanent mbere n'amannyo mukamwa. Yes, please.
Bannange byoyiseemu mukwano, you know, ku myaka emiteejo byoyiseemu naye tusaba omutonzi abitereeze ofune whatever is needed to work on your teeth. Obere oddeyo, you know, you're a happy soul. Oddeyo ng'osanyuka ng'oseka and everything. Now, tutwale mu lunaku, tuyisizeemu mu lunaku olulinnomu bw'ozuukuka, what do you do usually? Okay, now, Sandra kyabadde annyonnyola, there's a dental implant there versus a bridge. Now, the dental implant nga yomugirabaawo agambye implant kaba kuuma ako nga bw'okalaba. Yes, basima ekisoli mu kibuno ne bateeka mu gum, yes, ne bateeka yakuuma ako. Ate ne bakwata erinnyo ne baliteeka ku artificial tooth ne bateeka ne bambaza ku kuuma ako ne libeera ng'erinnyo liri complete. But the dental implants be quite expensive. The procedures and all be quite expensive. Managing all these health appointments, medical appointments and all bitwala ku sente. So twerabira amanyo gaffe beranga owerabirira, and whatever sensitivity or whatever problem you feel like you have in your mouth, please go for a dental checkup and see what is the problem. Okay, Sandra, take us through your day. Wozukuka, what do you do in this condition that you have? Ozuka okolachi kumanya okwerabirira oyisaamu ki, what do you brush with for how long? Then after olira we mmere oba olyanga kwega bwe bityo tuyisize mu lunaku tulabe.
Okay, you see, when you have an issue with teeth, it doesn't stop you from doing normal activities. Obviously, the pain is too much, and you have to find a solution to the pain, definitely, the discomfort, the sensitivity. And teeth mainly come in when we are going to eat food. So my daily day is waking up in the morning. I obviously prepare for the day. Yeah, and brushing process is the normal one. The normal brushing that everyone brushes. You get toothpaste and you pass it on your tooth. On your teeth. Unfortunately, when I'm sharing my story with some people, they tell you, why don't you use Sensodyne? There's that the toothpaste for sensitive teeth. Yes. Unfortunately, it's a dentist to recommend you.
It's a yes.
Yes, but remember also, this is not something you have to use every day in your life. Much as you have this challenge, you need to find a permanent solution for it, because you cannot be using toothpaste forever. And even if the toothpaste is to help with the teeth, I don't know how it does, that science is there, but you, after brushing, you have to go on with your life. You have to move on after that.
Okay.
So
try to speed, Sandra. Okay. Okay.
I know.
Ozukuse ogenza okusenya. Njagala omulabi waffe omulungi ategeere bw'omuntu obanga alina condition eno amannyo okugamba osenya bakugamba beera careful, senya katini, oyiseeyo katini oba osenya ng'omuntu owaabwe ali normal, because bw'otekayo ate force oyinza
it has happened before.
Yeah, so
there are times whereby I've brushed in the past, and you pass your toothbrush there, and when you remove it like this, you find white things coming off. Those white things are part of the tooth. So nogenda mu mirror nolabayo nti waliwo ali ekinnya ekizeeyo awo. So obviously doctors recommend brushing in a normal way. Put a good amount of toothpaste on your brush, and when you're brushing, it's a circular movement. Which is the problem I've seen around people is most people care for only the front teeth. They forget the behind ones.
Okay, and then that's it.
Kumbe waliwo eziriyo mabega. Choke mabega eyo, those are the ones that we use for chewing mostly and eating normal food. So those behind teeth are what people don't really care about. And people have this mindset is when my tooth is paining, but me, I can't remove all of them. Like if a tooth is paining, remove it. So I brush normally, and then obviously I wake up and go and do my other activities of the day. Okay,
bolinzinga boba bomunyunguza mukamwa oyisaamu amazzi bakki salty otekamu akannyo tubuguma omulabe fa kitegeere, because njagala eno condition eno tugitegeere bulungi nnyo abalaba agitegeere. Yes.
From
experience
yange osanga nti olumu when you wake up you have a swollen gum. Like gum nezimba, so you find that it doesn't swell to maximum definitely, but ezimba. So obviously ugenda yokulaba musawa agamba nti sawa zino first make it calm down, then we know what to do for you. So when the gums are swollen, I definitely have to rinse with warm water.
And a bit of salt.
Yeah, and a bit of salt. There's also baking powder. They told me to put some. Dentist, because he was like, it helps to calm there, though I don't know what science is there. So when it swells, obviously, I don't brush normally. So I have to just rinse. Yes, so we find that after brushing the toothpaste and passing on the tooth and minding the behind ones, because they are very important, after that I go on about my day. Yes, so the other challenge comes in when you're eating food. You're still there enjoying your food, before you know it, you're just normal food, even if it's not hot or cold, there's that piercing pain. That's when you remember, they could be sensitive, and then the holes in the tooth, when you eat, the food gets stuck there. Yes, unfortunately, the procedures are very expensive, because I know I've met some friends of mine, they're like, why don't you just go and they work on them? Feel all of them.
You know, walking it's a long process, long procedures, and then they're expensive as well.
Yes, so you see, before they put on a crown, they're supposed to numb the tooth. They're supposed to do a root canal. And root canal, you take about 3-4 visits with a dentist until they make the tooth numb. And for my case, it's the whole jaw. Obviously, I've had some of them done before, although they were not done well. I had to change dentists to get those who would do them better. And repeating a procedure like that is not one which is easy, because it's also very painful. So for a root canal to be done, you visit a dentist 3 times. 3 times. So at times I ask myself, why do we have to visit a doctor 3 times? Because I don't know the procedure, but they're going to numb your teeth. They have their reasons, They do it 3 times. So imagine 3 times of leaving my home, going to hospital, coming back with cotton wool in the mouth, with all this pain. Yeah, it's not a nice story to tell. Unfortunately, I'm a jolly person, so I cannot be all sad all the time, and I have very supportive family and friends. My friends have really been supportive, but they tell me, this should not limit you.
So to be a challenge,
go about with your life.
Sad and you think about, you know, the condition.
Yes.
Okay. To be challenges in that zoitam, apart from sometimes when you're chewing it's painful, you wake up sometimes with a swollen gum. Atenga tosobola kuyisayo kasenya as normal, so you have to rinse, or you know, okumunyunguzamu n'amazzi otubuguma n'otunyume, sometimes baking soda basawo bagamba okateekemu. Okay, so apart from those, what do you ndala?
Yeah, self-esteem, because jukira oba oyogera mu bantu balaba nti there's the brown teeth, there's some lines around, there are holes, so when you're laughing you have to even cover sometimes. When you're smiling you have to cover sometimes. And basically engeri gye zirabika, you can even fear to talk. You're like, kansirike munanyiza okwasama ne balaba ziri. And it affects my brain definitely. Begin asking yourself, why am I like this? Mu bantu bonna, why am I the one they chose to go through this disorder? So I definitely recently got to know about it when this dentist was doing that final feeding. Yadyantula wansi n'anyonyola bulungi, because obviously with time mbadde nkisibitegeera. And you know, nowadays abantu abasinga bagenda ku Google. You know, when you put into Google you think you're going to get the whole story, but remember on Google everyone is sharing their story. So this doctor sat down and told me, you need to get a permanent solution, and the permanent solution is a full mouth restoration, and a full mouth restoration has different steps. You get some crowns, you get implants, you get bridges for those that they can bridge. Then the ones they can't, munange, you have to get another solution.
Bakuchinyonyola batya?
Bridges, bangamba nti, you see, you have teeth, 3 teeth. It needs basically 3 or 2 teeth. So bas, yeah, nga ziri near each other. So osanga nti basalako on 2 of them, then they put a bridge on top of those ones.
Bridge bachukunyonyola gwe batya?
Bangamba nti kabanga a set of 2 teeth next to each other.
A set, okay. Nga amanyo abiri nga gali wamu.
Yes. Ne bagateekako on top.
On top of your teeth.
Yes. Okay. So that they can help to do away with the pain, and also the discomfort, and to cover that part. Because if you don't take care of it, you can even get gum disease. And that is more problems. I know, more problems. Mukamwate. Yes, and I mean, life is worth fighting for. You need to always make sure you do your best to stay alive, stay healthy. You don't want to lose life because of teeth. I know. Yeah, so I recently got support from friends. They told me, you know what, don't die with it. Tell us how much the bill is, what costs are involved, the steps to help you. And I have a fundraiser running around. Okay, tugenda kugera ku fundraiser yo. Yes. The fundraising event. Yes. Bit. We are going to talk about it. Yes, when, you know, later on. Yes. But right now, nga we tugera ku the condition eno. Ya tugenda kulaba engeri condition eno joina je kosezaamu byolonda about the choices, the food choices that you make. Definitely. Yeah. So genda bitu nyonyola bulungi nnyo nga tukomyawo. Tugenda kumulamu katono bakwano. Tukomawo tovaawo. All right, thank you so much for keeping it in TV and Spark TV. Yes, you're keeping it locked here. Thank you so much, Manange mwebale kuteka yenendeoza zamwe ku social media platforms zaffe ezenjawulo. Mwebale kubuuza ko Sandra. Yes, she's here and she's managing mpola. Yeah. So mukasumyuko ku comments ezimu zemutaddeyo tulina Emma Tonsobola yagamba tewali kyayitamu naye nga mwebale nnyo okuweereza. Thank you Emma for watching. Tulina Brian Katongole agambye, I have an extra tooth at the end of my jaw naye ntya okulijamu. How can I overcome this? An extra tooth kati ate bwe libanga waliwo erinnyo
eri normal like gali aligned ate nga waliwo extra eri maybe eri protruding somewhere. I think bali no okulijamu, or you can seek, you know, medical assistance.
No, that's the solution.
Yeah, that's the solution. Naye nga tikata feto tudi basawo. But you go and then find out obuuza omusawo nina extra tooth eno ntyo okulijamu. Waliwo sometimes bakola root canal ne batta obusiwa bw'erinnyo liba nga terikyakula naye nga balikola mu phases. Yes. Naye ogenda yobuuza omusawo extra tooth eno ngikoze ntya bakubuulire mukwano naye togikuuma because esobola okuvaako ate obuzibu oba ne wabaawo obuzibu obujja because of that tooth. Yes, that extra tooth. Yeah. And then Swaib Muhammad mbuuliza omusawo nti kiva kuki omuntu okuva eri naako I don't know what he said there. Naye there was a comment here about data. Sikutegedde Swaib, but let us keep the comments professional, and also let us have empathy and, you know, compassion and a little bit of love, guys. Wobanga mwerezamu your comments, just keep it professional. We are here with Sandra talking about a condition, and please find a way to deal with them. Okay, now ate uno gwetukyaziza patient si musawo, so whatever you want to ask medical questions and all, I think we shall forward them to the doctor who was coming. Yeah, to abayamba. Okay, Sandra, how was this condition it affecting the choices of food that you make and everything?
Definitely there are foods I can't eat anymore. I may not have them off head right now, but things like simsim sisobola clear. Granuts sisobola. Maize sisobola. Yes.
Even things
n'olumo ennyama n'enkoko sigirya olumo.
Rachi.
Because you need to break down food. Teeth chew food. Teeth breaks down food. So you find that you just throw it there. You see how pigs eat? Sometimes you have to eat like that. You just put it there to go through and fill the stomach.
Sometimes then no mirabomezi.
True. Natuka nendyanga omwana omuto ayina okuyiga who's learning how to eat. So you find that the way they blend food, sometimes I would even blend food so that I can just drink it and it goes in the stomach. But obviously now, for example, me jenva tulia kalone fish. Eat kalo and fish, so that's my staple food. So the kalo you can eat it, but the fish you can't, and yet this is what you need to chew and eat. So it's really been painful.
Sandra, yemmere eyo gyokale gyofunyemu obuzibu sofa biri tusobola obutabisota nga ebinyeebwa oba kasooli bw'emberenge bikajjo whatever osobola okunywa mu juice maybe mu kikajjo kyayo. But waliwo emmere nga ekyennyanja ne bakisotta bulungi nnyo nnyo n'oteeka n'olyanga baby n'omira at least n'obaako ne proteins whatever they get in, you know, different foods mu mubiri go ate n'ogana kubeera malnourished.
Era kye bakoze. Yes, that's what they have always done for me. They keep for me the soft part of food. Sometimes even when I'm going to a restaurant, gamba, look for the softest meat and give it to me. You have to be specific when you're ordering food. Order, you're not specific. They will bring meat on a bone and you can't eat that one. I know. Yes.
Okay. Naye kati osobola okugisota bulungi n'ogirya nga tekozeeko obuzibu natowulira pain bwebanga ogisose bulungi kangeze kyennyanja.
Yes.
No, because in pain,
sometimes, because teeth sensitivity, it's on and off. It's not there every day. Though obviously, if it's there every day, you know, get to see a dentist and they help me out with that pain. Now you find that you have to take painkillers for the pain to go away. Sometimes it reaches to a point of getting headache. And when you get headache, you can't do your own daily activities. You have to sit down, get rest, and sometimes the medicine is strong. You have to sleep longer hours. Yes, or when you're moving out, the eyes are swollen, you have this sleepy face, but people don't know you're from taking painkillers to help with the pain. Okay, so
apart from the painkillers, obanga otunyonyola engeri gyo handling pain nga kangeze bibuno bizimbye oba amannyo oba jaws wano mu jaws nga bikuluma. How do you handle the pain?
Warm water, salt. You rinse in the mouth and you'll be fine. like that. So obviously with time the lips could get dry. They would also recommend using mouthwash. You put the mouthwash in your mouth before you sleep, because you could not brush. That time I could not even use a toothbrush because the gums are swollen. You cannot kwisawo a toothbrush there. So for that case you had to use mouthwash, and your lips would become dry, thirsty. Yes. Bulungi. The drinking part is okay. The problem is chewing.
Okay, chewing.
I don't do cold. It's room temperature.
Room temperature, always.
Yes, always. It still does. It still does. How? The teeth are sensitive. You get that. When you're eating food, there is salt in the food.
Yes.
So there are spices, there are flavors. So no take you. Because sometimes they are exposed, the inside part of the tooth is exposed. So when you're eating, it still goes there. And before you know it, it's paining. There's that sharp pointing pain, and you just want to take water to rinse there, because when you rinse, there's a weight, there's relief, and then you stop eating. Sometimes I even eat halfway and they say, today I've stopped here. Or I eat later, or I eat in phases. I eat,
yeah, you do eat in
which
phases.
It's not healthy to eat cold food. You're supposed to eat food when it's still warm or hot. So at times you'd eat a little, you walk around, you come back and eat again, put 2 forks, like that.
Okay. Ninge no condition okubeera nayo, first of all, weetaaga support, yeah? Support groups, maybe family or friends. Yeah. Ogambye nti bakwana bo bava ine bagamba we're going to fundraise, but we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for your mental, health.
Yes.
Nature itamu, maybe sometimes you need someone to talk to. How do you do it? How do you handle it?
So friends have been able to help in various ways. For example, during school when I used to be bullied, some of them would be like, just leave her, leave my friend alone. You people don't know what's wrong with her. She has not disturbed you. And they would remove me away from that group. They're like, Amma, you come and we talk from here. So that kind of support has always been there. Others, instead of me talking, they would speak on my behalf. On your behalf. Someone would be like, by the way, I'm here with this lady here, and they talk about something. Then you see, doctors, the dentists recommend you're supposed to visit at least every 6 months. So for my case, it's every quarter. So at times I would forget, and they are like, I don't want you to leave any excuse. We don't want you to be in pain. Others would remind me to take painkillers after the procedures, because the doctor would tell you take times 2, times 3. So one would call you and is like, have you taken the tablets? Because if you forget, you get an infection. Because there's a time, actually I was almost losing a tooth because I didn't take the tablets in time, and the infection spread. Yeah, so that's how friends have been able to support. Others have helped me. They talk to me, how are you? They check in, they call you, be strong, you're going to go through this, it will end. This should not define you, it should not limit you from doing other things in your life. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Then your parents?
My parents, this has not been good on them, definitely, because one time my dad asked me what happened. Did I do anything wrong for you to be like this? Because we are about 12. So all others are very perfectly fine, and I thank God for that. So sometimes that time he asked me what happened, where did I go wrong, and obviously it has been affecting him one way or another, affecting him. Yeah, because he would spend, the bills would be very high, and before you know it, they have to spare some money. Because imagine every quarter I'm visiting, you're like, let's leave this 100K for Sandra, because when she goes to the dentist, she has to pay. You pay consultation, there are some drugs, transport, because you don't want to say, I have no transport, I can't go to hospital. Yeah, so he has always been living it like that. My mom calls in, she checks, we pray together. Prayer is very important. You need to seek God's guidance. So you pray together, and they check in, how are you doing it, how are you dealing with the pain? Because when you have all this pain, sometimes it's too much, you get the bad thoughts. You are like, should I kill myself? Can I pull them out myself? But you can't.
Do they sometimes itch?
Yeah, definitely. And they swell, and you get some bruises there. So you don't know what to do. And the dentist told me, don't tamper, be okay. Yeah, and I don't know what other complications there will be, but I know there is none because I'm not complaining about any other part apart from the teeth.
Apart from the teeth.
Yes.
Okay. What ogame at some point daddy agambane banaina kolachi omwana wango kuitambino byonna. Have you had some misconceptions about that condition?
Yeah, people are like
some myths.
Yeah, some are like it's juju, others tell me it's witchcraft. They send a worm to eat the outer part and it breaks. And you're like while we antwala kumusawo muganda. Okay, they almost did. They're like twaleyo kumusawo muganda bagena kuwe adagala or you pass and it grows back. No gamba nti amanya the teeth can't grow back. Erinyo likula lumu obe ganye because they can't grow back again. So yangamba nti omusawo no mulaba bagena tekayo dagala. Weba tekayo webati ijakula. But those holes will stop paining. But you know, pain doesn't stop there and then. You need to find permanent solutions to the pain. Because as much as today it has stopped, after some time it will come back eventually. They'll be waiting for it, be growing, pola. Yeah. So those are some of the myths I've made, and things others are like, just pull them out. Kajem.
Just like that?
Yeah, like olabanze erinyo wenuma njijamu
njejira munzeka
neda tugenda musawo ne mugamba jamu. Yeah, then obviously you know that there's a price list. So someone is like, aren't you charging me for paying? I mean, removing the tooth. Some people charge, okay, the prices are different depending on where you've gone, but I know a place where they charge 20 for removing. So it's like, what a pity, zentula wansi.
Hey,
yeah, because
because
they're like crazy. And no, but you know, you can't blame them sometimes because option underlies a procedure, a long process, and it's also painful and costly. Because imagine telling me I have to come back 3 times to the same place to sit down, and they put things in me to do a root canal. Why don't I just remove, do away with it, and my life goes on? But you can't remove teeth. Okay, it's some cases you have to, but it's not advisable. If you have a chance of saving that tooth, save it.
You have to,
save it.
Munanga abantu abajjemu amanya ate by findings obuzibu nti tegatidikula kuddayo.
Yeah, it can never grow.
Kituli ekyo ate kati jukira ate batekemu implant, ate batekemu gundi, ate batekemu feeling. So bera neddibu ate nga twenda kyaddikolera ate balina tekawo erinnya lya beeyi. So bw'obanga so saving erinnya ne bakola root canal, maybe and they do other services on the tooth, other medical practices
to keep it there.
Disobola okubeerawo.
Yeah, because olaba wejjayo that there's a space that remains. That space, there are very many problems that can come. You could get an infection of gum disease. Food can stay there and it grows on the tooth, the teeth there, if you don't clean there well. Or you have to clean there very well. Then obviously face, the other teeth will try to grow to cover. And remember, you can ziba affected. I am not so technical, but I'm sure if a dentist can explain these things well, they can. Though the best way obviously is to brush twice a day, cleaning the behind ones very well, clean, circular, and drinking a lot of water, and obviously talking, because if you don't talk, the breath will be bad.
Yes, and era watujukiza nti bane bagamba mdwali you keep talking so that empewe yingira mukamwa, so that bacteria harmful bacteria
doesn't stay on that
teeth, staying there. Waliwo ko wisdom teeth. Have you heard of wisdom teeth?
Yeah, I have the last teeth.
Most of the times, this eno wagulu bawansi eno wagulu agasembayo